And based on the symptoms present, what would you say the next step should be? No. Once again, you are jumping to conclusions. Remind me, what exactly did the patient do that prompted them to come to the hospital in the first place? Because it sure wasn't laughing so hard their morning cereal came flying out of their nose. Okay, so, if that is the case, what do we do next? There you go. Do you want me to feed you too next time, or can we stop with this whole hand-holding situation we've got going on? If you ever want to be a doctor, then you've got to grow up. I don't have time for this. And that's time. Page Dr. Chen when she gets in. She'll handle you for the rest of the day. If you're very good and use your brain for her, then maybe she'll even give you a lollipop. The rest of you, if you're done with your shifts, go home and get some rest. If not, then find something to do before all that money you've spent on tuition goes to waste.
Geez, who pissed in her cereal this morning? I mean, the nurses were right. She isn't called Ice Princess for nothing, but that was just mean. Are you okay? Hey, come on. You're a med student. You're new to all this. Of course you're not going to get it straight away. It takes practice. Besides, how are you expected to learn when your teacher spends half her time throwing insults at you? Okay, well, you can't compare the two of us. I'm a nurse. You're training to be a doctor. It's not fair to anyone, much less yourself. Oh, come on, don't say that. You're doing great. Trust me. Don't let Vera get you down too much. Sooner or later, you'll figure out your specialty and you'll never have to speak to her again. Or you can just, I don't know, report it to HR. Yeah, sure. Some of the other doctors here may be hard-asses, but it's not like they don't do it without a purpose. There is a difference between being strict and being a bitch, you know. Alright. If that's how you want to deal with it, then more power to you. Oh, looks like Dr. Chen just got in. Why don't you take a breather and I'll bring her up to speed. You look like someone just ran over your puppy. I know. I'm amazing. Now go.
Oh. Is there something you need from the break room? You're still on call, are you not? I thought I told you to page Dr. Chen. I see. Well, what are you still standing around there for? Shouldn't you be getting back to work? Me? Why do you ask? Shouldn't you hate me for being the ice princess that I am? Please. The nurses are hardly discreet when it comes to the rumor mill. Well, I'm not surprised you don't know anything about it. Aside from the fact that your brain is always half on, you're new, so it's whatever. It honestly is none of your business, but since you've already caught me in such a compromising position, how about this? I give you the tea on what's going on in this hospital, and you do your very best to follow along whilst I'm trying to teach you without me having to hold your hand throughout it all. Deal? Fine. Well, first off, the nurses and the doctors are sort of in a Cold War situation, ever since Dr. Chen had her outburst and treated the lot of them like they were nothing but mud underneath her shoes. She was going through some relationship troubles at the time, but she's alright now. Hence why she's doing her best to suck up to the RNs any chance she gets. Another reason why this Cold War situation is happening. is because there was a bit of a situation recently where, one of the nurses got fired because she was caught, in a, shall we say, compromising position with one of the surgeons in the stairwell. Yeah. Of course, HR didn't want to get rid of the surgeon because he's the best in his field, and getting rid of him would cost this hospital thousands upon thousands of dollars. But a nurse? She's replaceable. No, that's not the whole of it. The surgeon, happened to be my ex, and she happened to be the person that he was cheating on me with. Yep. Word of advice, newbie: when you're done with your shift, just go home. There's nothing to gain by sticking around here after hours. Nothing but a headache and potentially syphilis. Of course not. Who do you think I am? I'm happy that the relationship ended. I'm not the type of person to cry over someone who wronged me, even if we had been together for 4 years now. What I'm not okay with is the fact that he accosted me just 2 minutes before you walked in and screamed in my face as to how I was the reason why she got fired, and I was the one who ratted them out for making an adult film because I wanted revenge. What I'm also not okay with is the fact that everyone else here in this godforsaken hospital thinks that that's true. On a personal level, it really doesn't matter what other people think because I know the truth of it. I know who I am, and I know that I would never do something like that because of the get-out-of-jail-free card that bastard has. What I'm not okay with is the fact that this is affecting my work life. Doctors spend more time at work than at home, silly, and I'd rather not work in such a hostile environment if I can help it. Nothing. It's just my wrists. Well, I suppose this is a teaching moment. What do you think? Yeah, I think so too. The ex-boyfriend squeezed my wrist too hard when he was screaming in my face, and now they're all bruised. What are you doing? What the hell are you doing? People are staring. Yeah, I'm fine. Just wasn't expecting it. I know, I need to take care of it ASAP. Doctors need their hands. Thank you. You've done this before, haven't you? I meant before you went to med school. Yeah, I figured as much. Sounds like you loved it a lot. Well, if that's the case, why didn't you just get into that instead? How did you end up here? You look absolutely overwhelmed and miserable every single day you come in, which isn't an uncommon sight around here to be sure, but it's just off. Like you never really wanted to be here. I see. I suppose we both have people looming over our shoulders, whether we like it or not. Why don't I just move to a different hospital? You think the domineering ex would allow his favorite toy to just run away? Please, be serious. Yeah, it's, this has been going on for quite some time, unfortunately. I really should get going now, and you really should be heading back to work. I'll see you tomorrow. Pay attention to what Joyce is saying, and, good luck. Done with your shift, then? Well, I'm not really here for my health now, am I? Even though this is a hospital. Nothing, just... After I left, I realized that we never finished our conversation. Not really. Anyway, I thought we could talk. Whilst walking home together, yes. So, I don't think it needs to be said, but everything I told you earlier today in the break room, let's just keep that between us, alright? Look, I already have a really terrible reputation at the hospital. I don't need a day in HR to be added to the roster, no matter how much my bastard of an ex deserves it. Thank you for understanding. Not many people do, and it's just... I know I shouldn't keep quiet and let horrible people get away with horrible things. I promise I'll speak up about it at some point before I leave this place, but, no, not now. Well, too much going on, I suppose. Finishing my residency, obviously, plus family troubles. No clue how I'm going to explain to them how I quote-unquote fumbled a successful surgeon. They're already hounding me to get married and whatnot, so if they find out I'm single... Wait. Your exams are coming up, aren't they? Are you sure you're going to take them? Well, as we've established, it's quite clear that you don't actually want to be a doctor. You're just doing it out of obligation to your family, which, let's be honest, isn't going to be enough motivation for you to get through them. Alright. Well, if you're sure you're going to take them, then how about we make a deal? I have a family dinner coming up next week. It's a small thing, nothing crazy, but I am expected to bring my partner along. If you do me the solid, then I'll help you study for your exams and ensure that you pass. Maybe not with flying colors, but it'll get you to graduation for sure. What do you say? No, this won't extend into our jobs, promise. I just need to buy myself some time to... Oh, I don't know, figure my life out? Yeah. Who knew the hard-ass ice princess is actually a mess outside of the office, huh? Yeah, I know. Of course I know. Well, this is me. You're not on call for another 2 days, right? Just classes in between, got it. Well, I guess I'll see you in 2 days. Good night then, I suppose. Text me when you get back, yeah? Yeah. Okay, yeah, this is getting quite awkward. I'm gonna head in now. And... Hey. Sorry for it disappearing on you so suddenly and leaving you to deal with the vultures. I suppose I just needed a breather. Yeah, I love them, but they're a lot, as you can see. I suppose, but they come from a different time and, quite honestly, a different world. You look tired, too. Come, sit. Welcome to my childhood room. Yeah, my mom kept it as it is. I think deep down she wants me to come back and live with the rest of them full time. Considering how I can't even admit to them that I'm actually single, it's pretty indicative of my relationship with them right there. Yeah. Anyway, you were great tonight. Yeah, you were. You've done this before, haven't you? The whole meet the parents thing. Really? That's actually quite surprising. Have you just never gotten to the point where you met the parents, or... Wait, what? What do you mean you've never been in a relationship before? No. I'm not judging at all. I'm just surprised. I mean, given how nice and respectful you were all evening, I just assumed. Well, I suppose those of us who go down this path rarely have any leftover time to actually pursue anything else, huh? I mean, most of my classmates end up dating people within the field because they're the most understanding of the hours and the workload. I suppose. So, how was your week? More things easier to understand? That's good. Glad to hear it. Yeah, mine was alright. Didn't run into the ex, and people were more tolerable, that's for sure. I don't know, I suppose it's because I spend most of my time hanging out with you instead of letting myself be alone with my thoughts. Shut up. I'm sorry for how I treated you in the past. You're a med student and you're still learning the ropes, so it's unfair for me to expect you to get everything right the first time. Plus, with all the extenuating circumstances... Yeah, I guess you can say that. There's just... something about you that... Well, there's just something about you that really calms me down. I don't know. My life is so chaotic and filled with so much emotions and turmoil and incredibly complex situations that snowball very, very quickly. But you're just... you're so grounded. You go with the flow and you're never afraid to take on a challenge, whether or not you actually want it. You also don't care what other people think, and that's really refreshing. Yeah. Crazy how we're getting along when just a week ago I was yelling at you in front of the entire hospital. Again, sorry about that. So, do you have anything you need to do tomorrow? I know it's the weekend, but still, Any plans with friends? Classmates? Study sessions? Okay, so we should get you back home sometime soon then, huh? Hmm. I... Sorry, but I don't usually do this. I'm someone who likes things to be just so, as you know, so this is very out of character for me. Stay with me. Spend the night. The bed is big enough for the two of us.